Jessica Chobot was more than a host on Expedition X, she was one of the core forces shaping its identity, guiding audiences through the unknown with both steadiness and fearless curiosity. To fans, she felt permanent, like someone who would remain part of the investigative team for the long haul. Which is why her sudden disappearance from new episodes confused so many. There was no announcement, no farewell, not even a hint of a transition. Just silence. Now, people close to the show are revealing troubling information about what happened off camera, information that paints a very different picture of why she walked away. Jessica wasn't brought onto Expedition X to simply introduce segments or fill airtime. From the moment she stepped into the field, she shaped how the series explored unexplained phenomena. She brought measured skepticism, but also a willingness to walk directly into places that others avoided, blending rational thinking with an openness to possibilities. While Phil Torres focused on the technical breakdowns, Jessica asked the human questions, the ones viewers wondered but never said aloud. Years before joining the series, she had already built a career examining stories that lived in the space between science and speculation, and that experience became the backbone of the show's tone. Early in production, crew members noticed her dedication went far beyond expectation. When filming wrapped, others went back to the hotel, but Jessica stayed in the command trailer, reviewing every second of raw footage. According to internal notes, she personally watched every uncut audio file, even the sections network editors normally removed. If there was a strange whisper, an unexplained fluctuation, or a sudden technological glitch, she wanted to know exactly why it happened before anyone tried to label it. One producer later said that Jessica's questions often forced the team to confront truths that complicated the show's narrative. Executives didn't always appreciate that. As Expedition X gained popularity, pressure from above intensified. The tone gradually began drifting from grounded investigation toward something more dramatic. Moments were paced for heightened tension. Interactions were framed with more urgency. The shift wasn't drastic at first, but Jessica felt it. She believed the show was built on transparency, not theatrics. According to multiple off-record accounts, she pushed back whenever she felt the authenticity slipping. She rejected requests to reenact moments or exaggerate reactions, insisting that if something didn't happen naturally, it didn't belong on camera. Her stance created friction with those focused on ratings rather than accuracy. Field investigations reflected this growing divide. Crew members later revealed that during certain high-risk shoots, Jessica questioned why they were being encouraged to enter unstable areas simply to capture more intense footage. Her priority remained the team's safety. One field technician recalled her stopping everyone before entering a hazardous structure and asking whether they were going in because it was safe or because they were expected to deliver excitement. That question didn't always sit well with leadership. Her concerns deepened during filming of an episode in the Pacific Northwest, an investigation involving abandoned Cold War-era tunnels. The location had a long history of collapses and unpredictable electromagnetic anomalies. Jessica strongly advised against pushing deeper inside, but higher-ups reportedly insisted they needed bigger moments. That night, equipment readings spiked in ways that didn't match natural interference, radios cut out, and several crew members felt sudden pressure and nausea. A lighting rig collapsed shortly after. While no one was seriously injured, the incident shook everyone. Jessica immediately called for extraction and later spent hours reviewing thermal footage alone. What she found disturbed her. According to insiders who saw the unedited files, there was a moving distortion that couldn't be matched to any environmental cause. She wrote in a field journal that either they had encountered something genuinely unknown, or someone wanted to present it that way. Both possibilities were alarming. The next day, she confronted producers, insisting that the episode reflect what truly occurred, including the risk to the crew. Executives rejected that request. That was the moment her departure began, not publicly, but internally. When rough cuts of the episode circulated, Jessica discovered key moments had been removed or altered. Magnetic spikes were repositioned to appear insignificant. crew discomfort was edited into brief malfunction sequences. Her urgent call for evacuation had been erased entirely. Metadata revealed the footage had been flagged for removal before the team's official debrief. Someone had already decided what the narrative should be. When she raised concerns in a production meeting, she was dismissed. From that point forward, her presence on analytical segments began shrinking. Behind the scenes, it was clear the show wanted less skepticism and more spectacle. Her role began shifting toward simplified narration as Phil handled the deeper breakdowns. People on the inside recognized this as a way to limit how much of her perspective reached the screen. She saw it as something worse, the truth being softened for entertainment. After the tunnel incident, Jessica pushed for a complete internal safety review. She emphasized the need for honest reporting on crew danger, accurate documentation of unexplained data, and transparency in how episodes were edited. Her concerns were acknowledged politely but not acted upon. Then came the breaking point. When reviewing plans for a major Arctic Circle episode, she noticed serious geological instabilities were being downplayed. Satellite communication would be unreliable, electromagnetic interference was high, and the ice shelf was unstable. She flagged the location as high risk. A senior executive responded with a line that chilled her: "Higher risk creates better television." Privately, she began questioning medics and field specialists about response times in emergencies. The answers were not reassuring. Meanwhile, subtle notes from upper management began appearing in her inbox, questioning her alignment with the show's direction. Eventually, she was even instructed to avoid mentioning authenticity or safety in promotional interviews, topics she considered fundamental to their work. The final moment of clarity arrived during a planning meeting in Los Angeles for a shoot involving an abandoned communications facility in a mountainous region. Geological reports warned of collapsing structures, and Jessica advocated for additional medics and remote equipment to avoid direct danger. Her suggestions were dismissed for budget reasons. When she asked the room at what point excitement outweighed crew survival, no one had an answer. That night she began gathering her research notes, drafts, and field reports. She contacted a network liaison and explained that she needed to step back until the show re-evaluated its priorities. Her departure was quiet, without confrontation or drama. But internally, it hit the crew hard. Many felt she had voiced concerns they were too afraid to express. One assistant remembered her saying that bravery wasn't only about entering the unknown, it was also about refusing to ignore consequences. Public statements later framed her exit as a career shift, but those on the inside knew the truth. She didn't leave because she lost passion. She left because the mission she believed in, the pursuit of real, unfiltered discovery, was no longer leading the show. In the months following her departure, Jessica chose not to speak publicly.